Why post the photo? If you don't want the likes, the comments, the thirst, the simps, the haters, all of the above, don't post the photo. You post that, you're looking for all of the comments.
Just ask Angel Reese what happens when a WNBA player is more concerned with Instagram likes than making layups. Her most recent stunt has even caused her fans to facepalm her so severely that it forced her to do the unthinkable. But while Reese is busy breaking the internet, and not in a good way, Caitlin Clark is setting records in the gym. What if, instead of strutting down red carpets complaining about her pay and deleting her social media accounts in humiliation, Reese spent as much time on her game as she does on her selfies? You read that correctly. While Caitlin Clark is out here in a basketball jersey, looking like Rocky Balboa, honing her skills in the gym and managing to find time for charitable work, two players are on quite opposite paths. You won't believe what Sue Bird had to say about this mess, I promise. Let's dissect it.
It's really fun, rewarding, and also interesting to watch these younger athletes step into their professional careers. Obviously, Caitlin and Angel are two great examples.
You know what's crazy? Let's discuss the story of two off-seasons when one WNBA rookie is busy removing her competitors on the court and another is busy pushing the delete button on her social media.
Like so much earlier, these athletes are thinking about themselves as businesses, as brands. And it's amazing because they're carrying that with them to the WNBA, and so everything's just bigger.
First up is Angel Reese, the self-described Bayou Barbie, who appears more focused on living up to her moniker than honing her skills within the game. Her most recent stunt feature her wearing a gown with an animal print in a mocha color and a slit so high that it could likely block shots better than she can. But guess what? Her fans weren't thrilled with that brief fashion show.
How can you wear that and also complain and post it and also complain that you don't like being sexualized? What is the take here?
You know, it's funny. I just did another show right before this one, and we talked about how this younger generation just wants to cry and be victims about everything, right?
Yes, you heard correctly. Don't worry, Reese fans. She's still serving looks on TikTok and Twitter because priorities are right. Reese's Instagram account went viral faster than her dreams of becoming the next big thing in the WNBA because apparently some people thought her New Year's Eve outfit was a little too spicy for a professional athlete.
I understand. You want to wear it. You feel great about it. You got a great body. You play in the WNBA, but you cannot cry. You cannot say anything. I mean, have you seen some of her TikTok posts? Like, she's literally held up an outline after getting waxed. You can literally see all of her business there outlined in blue wax. And I'm like, oh yes, please tell me how sexualized you are. I mean, what are you gonna do?
The problem is that while Reese is busy lip-syncing to songs about how amazing she is, her critics are singing a different tune, claiming that her social media presence is primarily about fashion and personal branding, with basketball taking a backseat. It seems as though she is attempting to emulate the Kardashians with a jump shot, but the jump shot part seems optional.
I feel like I'm just scratching the surface. I feel like there's just so many areas that I want to improve in and to continue to get in the gym and work on that every single day.
Now, let's change the subject and discuss Caitlin Clark, the person who is truly living up to the hype. Sure, she participates in some official court activities, like charity work and golf outings, but guess what? She spends the majority of her time in the courtroom, which is astonishing. What if I told you that Clark's off-season routine might cause even seasoned professional athletes to perspire? Clark is honing her game with rigorous workouts while honing her stance. Yes, skill drills and real basketball are a fresh idea.
You got a new coach who's going to give you new looks, new game plans. You've got another year with Aaliyah Boston, likely Kelsey Mitchell, Lexi Home. And then you've got the moves that the Fever can make in the offseason, whether it be free agency or the draft, to bolster the roster.
While Reese is busy creating a house of cards with Instagram posts, Clark is working on improving her already impressive shooting accuracy, strengthening her mid-range floater, and honing her left-hand game. It seems like Clark is creating a basketball empire. However, perhaps Reese just needs some guidance from a WNBA legend. Oh wait.
But now they're in that world. And so my only advice is usually just to make sure they keep basketball the main thing, because at the end of the day, That is your vehicle.
You know what's crazy is that while Angel Reese is busy trying to take over the internet, Subir just revealed something shocking that could end Reese's career. Yes, you read correctly. The WNBA legend just entered the ring, and she's not holding back. Let's face it, when S-Bird speaks, everyone pays attention. And this time, she has some advice that has everyone wondering if she's attempting to save Reese's career or foretell its demise.
It's your vehicle to, Angel Reese has a podcast. It's her vehicle to be a podcaster, right? Whatever Caitlyn ends up doing, it's the vehicle to get you to that point. So you always want to make sure that part doesn't fall
When
off.
Bird related athletes' personal brands to their on-court performances, she might as well have been looking directly at Reese. She even mentioned LeBron James, pointing out that King James never skips a workout despite his extensive off-court commitments. She seems to be holding up a mirror to Reese and asking, "See the difference? But wait, there's more." Bird's warning isn't just about skipping a few gym sessions. It's about the long term, the big picture, and the things that truly count in a professional athlete's career. In other words, she's essentially telling Reese to focus on the task at hand rather than the camera.
It's a balance. You have to find that balance. But when you look at some of the other athletes, particularly men, who've set a little bit of a blueprint in terms of the business and the sport, you never see LeBron miss a workout.
Now, let's make the connection while Birds is sharing these pearls of wisdom. Where is Reese? Oh, she's just busy with podcast interviews and red carpet appearances, and she's whining about her pay. It seems like she's trying out for the WNBA's Real Housewives rather than concentrating on becoming a real player. Bird isn't just blowing smoke. She's a legend for a reason, and it has nothing to do with her Instagram following. She's witnessed what happens when gamers lose concentration on the game, spoiler alert, and it's not pretty. We're talking about shorter careers, declining abilities, and a one-way pass to recall when status.
A lot of the videos we see with Caitlin Clark, she's got actual men, grown men out there in her face trying to keep her from making shots and this and that and the other. There's not a lot of hands in Angel Reese's face here. And I am confused by the fact that she's trying to become this long-range player, it looks like. This is... she plays under the basket, or we thought she was playing under the basket.
You know what happens when you put your media visibility above your layup? Your layup starts to look like it belongs on TikTok rather than in the WNBA, and believe me, that's exactly what Bird is warning about. However, when was the last time you saw a training montage from the Bayou Barbie that wasn't heavily edited? Let's be clear, there's nothing wrong with building your brand, but when it starts to overshadow your game, that's when the alarm bells should start ringing. But what about Caitlin Clark? What is she up to? We'll talk about that in a moment. You know what they say, when the big dogs start barking, you better listen. Now, it's not just subbers raising the alarm. We have a full-on chorus of critics who aren't exactly singing Reese's praises. Let's begin with Sports Big Cheese's Dave Portnoy on the bar stool. When it came to our favorite spotlight-chasing baller, Portnoy didn't mince words and went off on what he considered Reese's classless behavior. But what's causing him to become so agitated?
She's a rookie in the league whose team sucked, who asked out at the end of the season with an injury, who won't shut up about herself, who ran their best player out of town. The coach got fired, and she started a podcast 5 seconds into the thing, creating all this controversy, showing up there.
This is the offer. Porno is tired of seeing Reese's face everywhere, but on the court, you know, those red carpet appearances, the never-ending social media posts, the whole look at me routine, he doesn't buy what she needs. Fans of Portnoy's point essentially claim that they want to see ballers play, not influencers. Hey Angel, instead of concentrating on your photo shoots, how about you work on your jump shot? But wait, there's more. You believe that Reese may take a break during walks. People listen to Shaquille O'Neal when he says because he is not just any critic, but also a mentor to LSU legend Reese, and someone who understands how to strike a balance between power on and off the court.
Her first round draft pick had the season she had, the controversy she had, got injured in a questionable injury, asked out, and then started a podcast gossiping about everything in the league as a rookie? Please. Yeah. Meanwhile, Caitlin's head down, just in the gym.
Ready to go.
You don't hear a peep from her. She cares about on the. So you got me wound up.
If you don't know much about NBA history, that's not a praise. Although Jameson had skill, he never fully lived up to the expectations surrounding superstar. Shaq is essentially stating that Reese is a role player who is all sizzle and no steak. Masquerading as a superstar, you would think that with all this fire, Reese would be working out to prove her detractors wrong. However, guess what? Reese appears to be focusing mainly on improving her social media game, as evidenced by those badly altered three-point shot videos.
You know who you are? You're the female Antoine Jameson. You know who Antoine Jameson is? He got 20,000 points with his shot. Whatever your shot is. Like, everybody's shot ain't gonna be Steph Curry. Your shot is your shot.
Nobody is arguing that Reese can't have a life outside of basketball, but when your off-court antics begin to eclipse your on-court play, you have a problem, and that's Reese's situation at the moment. You understand what true dedication looks like central. While other players are occupied with pursuing influence and red carpet opportunities, Caitlin Clark is set to show us all. Let me assure you, Clark is striving for greatness, and her off-season routine is no joke.
When she was literally the most inefficient player within 5 foot in all of the WNBA. Any which way you put it, she shot bad from the field. All right, she's 6'3" and she plays under the basket, and she shot 39.1% from the field.
You may be asking yourself, come on, is she really working that hard? Since it's even more severe than you might expect. Clark isn't just going to the gym, she's turning it into her own basketball lab. We're talking about scrimmages that resemble championship games more than practice sessions, shooting drills that could break a machine, and strength training that would make pro athletes win. But this is where things get really interesting. In addition to putting in the hours, Clark is improving her skills surgically by focusing on particular aspects of her game that will make her unstoppable.
I just come out here and try to play basketball in a way that people love watching, in a way that is going to make my team successful, and the records and whatever, or the stats, that's just what comes with it.
Handling the ball first up in confined areas, Caitlin Clark is already a ball magician. But let's not overlook the fact that she led the league in turnovers the previous season. Her teammates were adjusting to her incredible next-level passes, some of which even they didn't anticipate, and even though things got better after the Olympic break, there's no doubting the intense ball pressure she faces, as she makes playing double and triple teams almost a nightly ritual by honing her control. Under pressure, Clark is taking on this task head-on in the upcoming mid-range game, which is a significant improvement. Everyone is aware of Clark's legendary logo threes and her ability to dominate at the rim last season. She shot an incredible 62% of her shots within 5 feet of the hoop, but her mid-range shot has always been her weakness, which opponents have taken advantage of by forcing her into those looks. Now that she's countering, she's even more deadly and practically impossible to guard thanks to the addition of a pull-up jumper and a dependable floater to her arsenal. Although Clark has never shied away from driving to the basket, the physicality of the NBA is very different, and she is working on finishing through contact. Beast, it's not only about technique. It's also about developing her strength and mimicking game day physicality to prepare for the bumps, shoves, and hits that come with life in the paint. The frightening element is that Clark is getting ready to endure the punishment and still come out strong. This isn't just a fitness regimen. Imagine a Caitlin Clark who excels against double-team teams, has a dependable mid-range game to go along with her deep threes, and can absorb contact while finishing at the rim. Instead of maintaining her game, Clark is leveling it up and addressing her weaknesses with laser focus, and the implications are absolutely terrifying for her opponents.
If you guys saw this workout has gotten a lot of people excited for Caitlin Clark because she is directly working on her weaknesses, which I think is a good look, honestly. I think that's a really, really good look for her because, again, when we're seeing somebody working on their weaknesses, and not the glamorous weaknesses.
You're looking at an unstoppable force when you combine it with her unending range and precision quarterback-level passes. It's like giving Superman immunity to his worst enemy in addition to flight thermal vision, super speed, and unrivaled strength. Defenders best prepare for the nightmare next season. Caitlin Clark will soon release. You may be thinking, surely, all of this training comes at a cost because she doesn't have time for anything else. Not only is Clark improving her game, but she's also building her brand the right way, which means she's remembering what brought her here in the first place, her passion for the game and her fans. In addition to working out long hours, Clark is also finding time for fan interaction and charitable work. She's not just posting thirst traps or starting Twitter feuds. She's actually making a difference, and best of all, she's doing it all without sacrificing her training. It's as if she's figured out how to add more hours to the day.
She's back in her natural habitat, back in the lab, playing basketball, and it's got to be a scary sight for the rest of the WNBA if she gets even better, because it's not as if she wasn't absolutely phenomenally elite as a rookie and arguably the best player in the league after the Olympic break.
But hold on, there's more. Fans are devouring Clark's social media posts, which are more than just a highlight reel of glamour shots. They're a glimpse into her smile and what it truly takes to be successful. It's not just about the flash, it's about the content.
So you're starting from a very high place, but as Michael Jordan once famously said, right, the ceiling is the roof. And there really is no ceiling on Caitlin Clark's game because of her vision. I think the thing that stands out the most to me is her court vision. And when you're able to shoot from deep, the way she's able to shoot from deep.
Let's just say that Caitlin Clark is setting a new standard for the WNBA's future. She is demonstrating that you can establish your brand while maintaining basketball as the primary focus. It's not a matter of choosing between being a great player and being a marketable star. Rather, it's about being both, but always putting the game first. Let's be honest, people. While Angel Reese is busy chasing the spotlight, Caitlin Clark is out there building an empire. While Clark is quietly working to become the player we all know she can be, Wild Reese's offseason has been a blur of media appearances and red carpets. But at what cost?
There is really nothing you can do as a defense but hope the ball doesn't go in the basket. That's the level of greatness that Caitlin Clark can get to, where the defense's only hope is that she misses.
Here's the thing. Longevity in the WNBA isn't about how many Instagram followers you have. It's about showing up every day and proving your worth on the court. Clark has her sights set on the prize, while Reese, well, let's just say her priorities might need some adjusting, is going to be a real eye-opener. We'll see who is staying power and who is just a passing fad. One thing is for certain, though, I can't wait to see how this all plays out because there are 5 games between the Fever and the Sky next season. If you have any predictions, please share them in the comment section, click the video on the screen, turn on all notifications so you don't miss it, and we'll see you in the next one.
The amount of people that have showed up in the stadiums, from the viewership numbers to people really wanting to wear a WNBA player's jersey or buy their merch or whatever it is, or have their shoe. Just how it's evolved in such a short period of time, I think shows everyone, there is real opportunity.